This is UnitedFMRadio.com. Project Arrowhead will be starting shortly. Please stand by.
Good Tuesday afternoon, November 20th, 2018. Welcome to Project Arrowhead. I am your host, Jim Sakowitz, joined by...
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm joined by nobody. Well, Keith is here.
I'm here, but I'm doing some work in the background.
The board. Couple updates. Gina. Hey, Gina. We love you. Gina should be back next week with us. She had surgery, and she's doing good. So hopefully Gina will be back with us next week. And Glenn has had some personal issues going on. His mom is in the hospital. And our best wishes go out to Glenn. And Glenn also should be back with us next week. So we'll have our full crew next week, hopefully. Before we get going, I just want to mention that Project Arrowhead is brought to you by the Mohegan Sun Big Three, Lansdowne Pub, Avalon Nightclub, and the Vista Lounge. For your VIP needs at Vista and Avalon, see Chris Cody. Chris will hook you up with your VIP needs. That's the Lansdowne Pub, Avalon Nightclub, and the Vista Lounge. Every Thursday night at Lansdowne, join us for James Patrick O'Grady, JPO Productions with karaoke. And every Saturday night, starting at 10 o'clock, we have a live band. I don't know who the band is this week, but I'm sure they're pretty good. So I hope everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving. It's coming up Thursday. I can't believe it's Thanksgiving already. It seems like, time just flies. And, I am brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts, too. I can't get enough Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, thank you for the coffee. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. I'm going to make everybody a Dunkaholic.
So I guess for Thursday night, some schools have canceled their outside games, football games.
What a bunch of shit.
Oh, watch that potty mouth. Anyhow, it's going to be like negative 2 or 3 degrees. Degrees? Yeah, okay. It's going to be negative 2 or 3 degrees out, and I guess it's going to be too cold to play ball.
Whatever. The football games are in the morning. When I played football, we played in rain, snow, sleet, cold, heat, whatever. You know, when did we start raising a bunch of pansies? It's too cold. I can't go play football.
Are you going to go play football in negative 2 degree weather?
I would.
Right now?
I would.
You would?
I would love to go play football.
And negative 2 degree. Well, I mean, the national guys do it. They play in negative 20 degrees.
We used to go play in anything. Snowstorms, we're out there playing football.
Well, I guess it's all a liability thing now.
It's not a liability. These are the same people that drive their kids to the school bus stop because it's too cold for them to walk down the driveway.
I used to have to walk to school like 3-4 miles in
Oh,
13 degree weather.
Here we go.
If I missed the bus, that's what I had to do.
You missed the bus, all right. The short bus.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to send you off in one in a minute.
Okay. Did you by any chance catch that football game last night?
No.
Oh my God.
What now?
It was amazing.
It's amazing?
It was amazing. You know what the final score was?
What?
54-51.
Oh, jeez.
It was the highest scoring Monday Night Football game ever.
The only scoring I like is with blondes and brunettes.
Really? You need help.
Well, I mean, that's a good score to keep, isn't it?
Whatever.
Come on, that wasn't funny. That was funny. Come on.
It was?
It was funny.
Oh,
That was such a sexist thing of me to say.
Yeah, it was. Remind me tomorrow to laugh.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Why am I not surprised you're part of the Me Too movement?
I'm not. Mm-hmm. That thing is crazy.
Yeah. So, speaking of crazy, and I'm going to ask for forgiveness right now because I probably will get a little spun up and a little ticked off.
Oh, when is not a common occurrence with you?
Since our last show, we have had 3 mass shootings. 2 of them yesterday. So, all the anti-gun nuts coming out, oh, we need tougher gun laws. We need... California and Chicago have the toughest gun laws in the United States. You know that, right?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What are you doing?
I was just making sure the phone patch is working. By the way, if you like to call, comment, question, confuse, 860-626-5193. Again, 860-626-5193. I forgot to put that up in the comments. But on the YouTube dashboard, Jim?
Yeah?
The YouTube dashboard, you see the chat to the right? Just put that number in the chat, 860-626-5193. I forgot to put it in the description. Shoot me now. If you like to call and raise some hell, no holds barred. No, not really, but... Again, a studio number 860-626-5193.
Yeah, I'm not finding the dashboard.
Oh, forget it.
I got so much stuff over here.
I'll try to get it over here.
All right. Yeah, I would absolutely love people to call in the show. Love it. And I would like to hear your solutions for solving these mass shootings. And I'll tell you, it's not a Democratic thing. It's not a Republican thing. It's a human thing. Let's blame the NRA. No, the NRA, these were not NRA members that did the shooting. As I said a couple seconds ago, Chicago and California have the 2 toughest gun laws in the United States. Guess where these 2 of the shootings were? Chicago and California. So what can you do? What laws can you pass to stop these shootings? I mean, they've already got the toughest, so what more can you do? Here's the thing, and this is absolutely my opinion. When you make it harder for the good guys to get guns, it makes it easier for the bad guys to do the mass shootings that they're doing. Let's take the bar in California. What if one person, just one, had a gun? No, I'm not talking about the people that are in there drinking. I'm talking about a staff member, be it a manager, a bartender, a host, security. Granted, the bouncer out front was the first person to be shot, but there's more than one bouncer. What if one of them had their CCL, which is their concealed carry, and neutralized the threat before he had a chance to shoot multiple people? Does that make sense to you? Because it makes a lot of sense to me. You get one good guy with a gun, and if the bad guy doesn't know, there would be no reason for him to know who's got it. He comes in here to try to do something stupid, he gets taken out. And you don't hear about these things. It's happened a couple times where a good guy with a gun has neutralized the threat, taken out the bad guy with a gun. Doesn't make news, though. It doesn't fit the narrative. You know, the narrative that gun's bad. So, I ask you again. Apparently our video is having problems. We're not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth streaming.
It's all right.
Okay, it's all right. So if it's working, great. If not, bear with us. So again, I'd really, really, really love to hear people's opinions on this. Why do we make it tougher for the good guys to get guns when the bad guys will always, always find a way to get guns? And again, that comes back to the whole mental health issue, because sane people don't walk into an establishment and start shooting. There had to be signs somewhere. So, let's take yesterday's. Denver, Colorado, and Chicago. Somebody shot up a hospital in Chicago, killing a police officer who had just finished his probation.
John Mystic says your video is smooth.
The video is slow.
Smooth.
Ugh.
Good.
Hold on. You can comment on Facebook. I mean, YouTube. I don't know. I wish there was a simple answer. I really do. It's the only word I can come up with is insane. Absolutely insane. And I'm not going to lie to you. If I go to the movies, I sit there and strategically place myself to where I can get the hell out of there quick if I have to. And I eyeball every single person walking into that theater. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that at all. It's, I go to different places during the year. I go to Virginia. I go to Arizona once in a while. And it's the same thing on the plane. I'm sitting there and I'm eyeballing everybody that's coming on the plane. Again, it shouldn't be that way. It's absolutely ridiculous. But as a country, what can we do? What can we do to stop this? And I'll tell you what, banning guns is not the answer. We banned drugs. How did that work out? Drugs are illegal. They're coming in the country left and right. So you ban guns, you take guns away from the good guys again. Guess what? Now you're sheep, because the bad guys will always find a way to get their hands on them and do harm. You talk about permits and this and that. There was a show, I don't remember if it was 2020 or, I know it wasn't 60 Minutes, but it was one of those shows where an undercover guy bought a freaking rocket launcher, an RPG, on the streets of Chicago. Think about that. Just think about that for a second. An RPG. And for those of you non-military or whatever, an RPG is a rocket-propelled grenade. Can bring down helicopters. Doesn't really have the range to bring down a plane. But you shoot it into a building, it'll cause maximum damage. You can't buy them at a gun shop. You can't buy them at a gun show. The only place you can buy them is in the underground, on the black market. To say they're illegal is an understatement. These are military-grade weapons that are not available to the regular citizen. So let that sink in for a minute. You take guns away from all the people who can help and who can take care of the problems, and now you get the bad guys running rampant. It's like the Old West again. Let's get you turned into Project Arrowhead. If you want to give us a call, 860-626-5193, 860-626-5193. We are talking about the gun crisis, active shooter crisis here in the United States, and what we can do to stop it.
How do you stop all the copycats?
You can't. The same way you can't stop anybody else.
It's all like a certain level of insanity here. It's like it's all engineered to take the guns away from the good guys and make sure only the criminals have guns.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. You take the guns away from all the good guys, and the bad guys have the guns, and it's cheap. You're shooting fish in a barrel.
You remember when Sandy Hook went down? Mr. I Am the Master was, we're going to come to your house and take your guns.
You talking about Murphy?
I don't know, the guy, the spokesperson for for the Connecticut State Police. We will come to your house and we will take your guns.
Yeah, I don't remember
and
that.
you'll remember why. And then they went on about Sandy Hook or something like that. Maybe if they had some armed guards at that school, it wouldn't have happened in the first place. But too late. You're quiet. What?
Oh, I'm just I'm looking something up. I don't remember that.
There was this whole thing about the way he said something that started a controversy about gun grabbing. The Connecticut going into a gun grabbing mode.
Yeah, I mean, I remember bits and pieces of it. But are you monitoring chat on?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, anybody on there?
There's people watching, but nobody's commenting.
Okay. I just want to. I don't know. It's first time on YouTube, so it's kind of.
It's got him. He's got his salad all tossed up all over the place, and he doesn't know how to handle this YouTube thing.
Anyway, the sad thing is. Paul Vance.
Melissa commented on YouTube, said Paul Vance.
Yep, Paul Vance was the
I am the master.
He's the state police, but he was only the spokesman.
Yeah, he was like, I am the master.
He was the public information officer.
I am the master.
Yep. Nobody has any answers.
Just take the guns away from everybody. You know, this America has done enough with shooting up the neighborhood. That's
you can't.
It. Take the guns away from, and nobody deserves guns.
How are you going to take the guns away from everybody?
They did it in Europe.
No, they didn't. Europe. Look at Switzerland. Everybody has a gun. Do you see any mass shootings over there?
Oh no.
Nope. You don't.
So what's the conspiracy here? What do we want? Mass civil unrest, or a breakdown of our society? What's the hitch here? There's got to be something behind it all. I mean,
we ignore the problems. That's how we do things here in this country. If we ignore it long enough, it'll go away.
I think it has a lot to do with the spiritual realm and a lot of demonic possessions taking over these people.
Really?
Well, if you think about it, yeah. What else would possess somebody to grab an assault rifle and knock out 50 people?
Oh, absolutely.
Or 100 people. This has got to be some type of...
You have to be mentally unstable. The same people do not walk into a building and shoot people up.
But there's also studies that tie religion in with mental health. There's actual scientific studies on it that tie in demonic possession with mental health, people with mental health issues.
Yeah, but they're not all demonically possessed.
Right. Well, you got to be possessed by something to go lay out 50 to 100 people watching a movie or going to church. You got to be possessed by something.
Hate.
That would be a demon.
Hate.
It'd be something nasty.
I mean, hate. That's the only thing I can think of. To hate somebody enough, or hate a group so much that you want to kill them, it's disturbing.
Isn't that how most of the people that were bullied in high school or in college feel anyhow, or bullied at the job site? Isn't that how most of them feel?
Everybody has a breaking point. Everybody. So if you bully or push somebody to and then past that breaking point, it goes to mental health. Right.
So if let's test your mental health. What if I was standing behind you, poking at your back, going Jim, 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 poke, 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 Jim, poke, 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 and I just kept on doing this and doing it and doing it. What would your reaction be?
I'd probably turn around and yell at you.
That's mental.
Well, I'm not going to turn around and shoot you.
Well, no, you don't turn around. You say, excuse me, but could you please stop that? Why would you want to raise your voice and escalate the situation?
I'm going to turn around and be like, what the hell do you want?
No, you turn around and say, excuse me, are you okay? Can I help you? You don't escalate the situation. People are mad. They're just running around a bunch of angry people.
Right. And I mean, with what I do for a living, I see it all the time. People sit there and they will try and they will try and they will try to push our buttons, and occasionally they will, but for the most part, it's just you just gotta sit there and let them make idiots out of themselves.
Right. How many times are they gonna call you rent-a-cop before you finally bug out?
I'm not a rent-a-cop. So
well, I know you're not a rent-a-cop, but you're what are you, high-profile security?
Words really don't bother me. Brittany wants to know how to comment on the YouTube link.
Just click on play on the YouTube link.
All right.
Or they might be commenting on the post wherever, because we got it scattered all over the place. We'll be back on Facebook. Facebook has been having some massive problems, and just to keep the show on schedule, we decided to go live on YouTube. So if you click on the YouTube link, watch it on YouTube. On the right-hand side, there'll be a little chat box. Type your comments in over there. And I think you got to be logged into YouTube in order to post a comment. Brittany got it. She's got it. Brittany's got it.
Oh, okay.
Brittany, you can also call 860.
Oh, yeah, there she is. Got it. I see it.
Getting used to it now, aren't you?
I'm not getting used to it. I'm just...
She just commented again.
All right, let me see.
Uh-oh, this message is held for review.
I am the only white person at work. I was told by one co-worker that...
Read it out.
Hold on, I'm trying to. It's cut off. All right. I'm the only white person at my work. I was told by one co-worker that the only white, rich, entitled kids commit shootings. That is absolutely not true.
I'm so sick of the race card being pulled.
The fact that they would even say that is... Okay, first of all, let's take Sandy Hook. The kid there was just a shitbag. He was... I mean, you want to talk about psychologically impaired? This dude looked like a serial killer. He definitely wasn't rich. He definitely wasn't entitled. He was just nuts. The recent shooting in California. The guy was a Marine suffering from PTSD. Allegedly suffering from PTSD. Definitely not rich. Definitely not entitled. And wasn't he Hispanic? Keith?
I'm not positive on that.
It seems that way. That it's all white people doing the shooting. But there's a lot of shootings you don't hear about. Chicago, the shooting in Chicago yesterday, I believe, was an African-American male. So it doesn't matter what color, race, and that's part of the problem. Brittany says, I think it has more to do with mental issues. People are too scared to get the help because it goes on their medical record, or people constantly bash people for having a mental disorder. Exactly. That is absolutely correct. If you have a concealed carry permit, and you seek mental health help, you lose your concealed carry permit. But now, let me ask you a question. If somebody's just suffering from depression, they say they saw something horrible. They saw an accident with body parts scattered all over the highway, and they want to go talk to somebody. Does that mean that that person should not be allowed to carry a gun or hold a permit because they went to talk to a shrink because they saw something horrible? Somebody's getting a divorce. Divorces can be messy. So they go to counseling. Again, does that mean they shouldn't be allowed to carry a gun, have a permit? Another thing you got to look at, marijuana is becoming legal pretty much everywhere. It's going to be legalized everywhere pretty soon. Massachusetts just opened their first store yesterday. Now, if you're on medical marijuana, you automatically lose your concealed carry permit. How fair is that? You can all right, it's against the law to carry your weapon in an establishment that serves alcohol. But if you're sitting at home drinking a beer, should you lose your permit? No, of course not. But yeah, a lot of people are scared to get the help they need because it becomes part of your permanent record. And it could end up costing you. It could cost you a job. It could cost you a lot of stuff. Unless you're heavily medicated like my neighbor is schizophrenic. She would say my dogs were outside barking and then have her husband approach us, but the dogs were inside all day. Yeah, schizophrenia is definitely a no-go for having a pistol permit. But then they'll say, oh, well, we're on medication. It's in check. I've seen a lot of people go off their medications. And is that something you want? Do you really want somebody with schizophrenia having access to a weapon? I believe that the kid from Sandy Hook was a schizophrenic. We see how that ended up. But there has to be an answer out there. What can we do as a country to stop this stuff? It's not going to go away. Ignoring it's not going to matter. You'll get Senator Murphy up there, and he just yak. He always says the same thing. And I agree, Britt. We need to push that mental health is not a bad thing. Growing up, people always have that instilled in them that it's a bad thing, that you're less of a person for it, and you're not. You're not. Do you know that pretty much every single person suffers from depression at least once in their life? It's a known fact. It doesn't make you a bad person. People will deny it, but at least one time in your life, you will suffer from depression. Doesn't make you a bad person. I am a card-carrying member of the NRA. Ooh, I said the big bad word. I believe in universal background checks. I think universal background checks should be the same across the country. All right, there are states that don't even require a permit. You can go down to the store and pretty much buy whatever you want. Sure, when you buy it, they do a quick background check to make sure that you're not a wanted felon or anything, but you don't need a permit. We need to have the same standards nationwide, not state by state, nationwide. But again, like I said earlier, California and Chicago, the two toughest gun laws in the country. 2 of the 3 shootings over the past week were California and Chicago. When you can go to any major city in the United States and purchase anything you want, that's where the problem lies. And sure, it's like drugs. You can get drugs anywhere. It's the same way with guns. You can go to any of these cities, and if the price is right, you can buy whatever you want. No background check, no permit, no nothing. Just show them some green, and now you're armed. So no matter what laws you put in, how tough you make the laws, the bad guys are always going to be able to get guns. They come into this country through Mexico, same way as the drugs. How do you stop it? There has to be a way that we can stop and prevent. Brittany wants some green. Yeah, Melissa says it's like going to the grocery store. It really is. There's got to be something. If maybe something simple. I don't know.
One RPG. Thank you. Come again.
Thank you. Come again.
One RPG. You kicked my dog.
Yeah, you go and say, "Hey, yep, I'll take one RPG. Let me get a couple claymores. Sniper rifle. And I'll take that." It's. You're right. They're in denial by saying that harsher laws or banning it will stop it. All it's going to do is make it worse. When you're making it tough for the good guys to get guns, it's just open season for the bad guys. And like I said earlier, maybe if one of the people in the bar in California had a concealed carry permit, had a gun, I'm not talking about the people drinking, but if it was a bartender, a manager, security, anybody, they may have been able to stop the shooter. But without that, you see what happened. He just kept shooting. Oh, my God. Brittany said she saw a Mexican woman hanging from the side of the freeway due to a cartel fight. Where was that at? Was that in California? That's crazy. And watch the show Border Town Laredo. You want to see some stuff, and you watch and see what happens there, and then, oh yeah, let's let everybody cross the border. Watch what happens over there. You want that in here? Hell no. And that's another thing that whole caravan that's coming up. They're going to get political asylum. All right, well, A, why? B, if your country was that bad, why are you waving your country's flag and chanting anti-USA slogans as you're marching towards the USA? That makes no sense. And for political asylum, you are supposed to go to the first non-combatant country and apply for asylum there. Well, not cross across half a continent. Oh, my God. In Phoenix. The cartels are here. They come right through Phoenix. Nobody cares. No, let's just open it up. Let everybody in. Pass out a couple of AKs on their way in the gate. I'd love to go back to the day where I saw them sitting between the wall. I'd love to go back to the day where we didn't have to worry about this crap. People weren't breaking down the freaking walls to get in here. You didn't see... And that's the thing. Back in the day, people used to have rifles and shotguns in their pickup truck rack parked in the school parking lot. Nobody thought anything about it. You didn't see school shootings. There were more guns back then than there are now, and you didn't see or hear of school shootings. And you're right. It would never be okay in any other country. Ever. Watch this caravan try to get into Russia or Germany or any of those countries. It's just not going to happen. Exactly. Brittany says, we can't save everyone. We can barely save our own people. Let's take care of us first, them second. It's not like the old days. More people, more hardship now. Exactly. Let's take care of the homeless and the veterans or the homeless vets before we take care of people from other countries. Let's take care of our own. But I guess that makes us the bad guys, because we want to take care of our own people. We're racist. We're xenophobes. All those names that they want to throw out. The racist word has been thrown out more over the past year than I think I've ever heard it in my entire life. If you don't agree with somebody, now you're racist. If your views differ from somebody else, you're racist. If you didn't like Obama, it's because you're racist. Had nothing to do with the policies or the ridiculous Obamacare. If you didn't like it, it's because you're racist. And I'm fed up with that too. One of these days, one of two things is going to happen. We're either once again going to have an all-out civil war here in this country, or we're finally going to find a happy medium and bring this country back to the great country it once was. Right now, we're leaning more towards the Civil War because nobody can get along. Nobody. It's a sad state of affairs. And you can blame the president, you can blame this person, or you can blame that person. But the truth of it is, it starts at home. It absolutely starts at home. If you raise your kids right, You don't have a problem. Yeah, exactly. If you voted for Trump, you're racist. But the violence starts at home. If you teach your kids to love everybody, to treat everybody equally, you don't have this problem. I don't know. Keith, do you have any suggestions?
Someday, it'll all just get better.
It can't get much worse. Well, let me tell you, remember when we had Dustin Warburton on?
Well, it seems like throughout the decades, history seems to repeat itself, but in different involved ways. Like back in the 60s, we had crazy protesting going on.
Mm-hmm.
People were attacking soldiers, calling them baby killers, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And that wasn't really the deal. Soldiers weren't out shooting babies.
Well, let me tell you something. Back at the beginning of November, we had the Vets Rock at the casino.
Yep.
And we had a special night for the Special Forces. We had Marine Recon snipers. We had Navy SEALs. We had Army Rangers. You name it, they were there.
And thank all of you for serving our country.
And we just had a special night for them. They came in. They let loose. They were having a good time. Some of the Marines were in uniform. I happened to be standing up front when this group of people walked by. They looked in and just yelled, "Baby killers."
Ah, no.
And I turned around, I looked at him, I'm like, "Excuse me?" And the guy's like, "You heard me." And I kept my composure. It's trust me.
That's an idiot at his best.
There was a lot of stuff I wanted to say to him. And of course, they kept walking as they were yapping, which seems to be the thing to do. But that's just
drive-by insult.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
Well,
that's the mentality of the people we have.
Well, I mean, that's the level of losers you have.
And that's what I mean about it starts at home. If you raise your kids to respect people, because respect's out the window. Respect it's gone. There's no respect anymore. Yeah, absolutely, Brett. We've lost respect. Respect for one another, respect for property, respect for everything. You don't like something, you go and vandalize it. You don't like someone, you sit there and you destroy them. And again, that's where I say it starts at home. It's the upbringing of these people. Like the whole Civil War monuments and everything down south that are getting vandalized and torn down, and it's part of your country's history.
But it was a racist history. It's got to go. I'm offended by it. That statue offends me. Got to go. Got to go to Walmart, Kmart, Judge Wapner.
All right, Rain Man.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's respect. Respect as a nation. Respect, even more, it's respect as a human being. You know, imagine how much better things would be if people actually respected one another, respected people's opinions, respected people's differences. Racist or not, it was part of the history. Yep, I agree.
I believe on Wikipedia you can look up the word respect.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Oh, sorry. Suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me. Oh, man, here we go.
There goes a copyright violation.
Exactly, just like the Holocaust. But you know what? You know what they're teaching in Germany now?
What?
That the Holocaust didn't happen.
Get out of here.
Nope. They're trying to erase that. Like it never happened.
You can't erase your history.
You can try. They're trying to say it was just it was tabloid. It was
tabloid. What?
Yeah, that it was.
Come on.
It didn't happen.
Of course it happened. These
We
people
know
on
it
crack.
happened.
They're on crack.
We all know it happened.
Just like all the refugees they're letting into the countries, not tearing their country into bits.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the refugees. No, it's not. Oh wait, I'm gonna get
Right. And like Brittany just said, until they brainwash it out of everyone, and that is exactly what they're doing. The Holocaust didn't happen. That was just propaganda, which is basically how it happened in the first place. It was propaganda. It was all the propaganda by Adolf Hitler.
God help us. I think God given up.
We're doing the same thing here. We're doing the same thing by trying to erase the Civil War.
Stupid is, stupid does. Is that how it goes or something like that?
Stupid is as stupid does. And what's that old saying? If we ignore history, we're doomed to repeat it?
Yeah.
What does that tell you? If we erase the Civil War, say the Civil War never happened, boom.
Yeah, but you can't say that. It's impossible.
What?
Civil War didn't happen. It happened.
Of course it did.
That's now it sound like Len.
It did happen.
I just said that.
But by taking all this stuff down and trying to erase history, eventually you're going to convince people that it didn't happen. You're going to brainwash them like they're doing in Germany, saying the Holocaust didn't happen.
By the way, we got viewers, because I can see them. If you want to pick up your phone and sound off and let her rip, 860-626-5193. It's a heck of a lot more interactive for you, for Jim, for me. If someone gets on the phone, things have changed. Back in radio days, people would pick up their phone and call the studio line and interact. Now they do this typing crap on the. We gotta read people's comments. I hooked up this phone. What are they? I guess this phone patch is history.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
What happened to calling into the show?
Oh,
come on, people.
All right, so I spent an hour talking about these shootings, and I really don't want to talk about it anymore. I want it to stop. So, let's talk about Thanksgiving.
What are you having, ham or turkey?
Turkey. Ham is Christmas. Turkey is Thanksgiving. Pilgrims didn't have a ham.
They had a turkey. They had corn on the cob. What else did they have?
Cornbread.
They had pigs. Didn't they have wild pigs running around? They had ham.
They didn't have ham for Thanksgiving. Don't forget the cornbread.
What about eggnog?
Brittany's getting hungry. Eggnog? Dude, they did not have eggnog when the Pilgrims were here.
Okay, now you're going to have me looking it up.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have to Wikipedia this crap.
You Wikipedia it. Jesus.
What are you having for Thanksgiving?
You already asked me that.
Bacon?
Turkey.
Turkey? Do you like the dark meat or the white meat?
I like the dark meat.
Racist bastard.
No. dumbass. I said I like the dark meat.
Yeah. What's wrong with the white meat?
Nothing.
So you're the guy that hogs all the dark meat, right? You're tearing in there. You got a chainsaw and a pitchfork, and you're right in after that.
Yep.
Before it even comes out of the oven.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Jay says, unfortunately, this upcoming generation is completely brainwashed. Yep. It has to be true. I heard it on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, and even my professor in college says you're wrong. You're right. Absolutely. And the thing is, you can watch one story and you can get 8 different views on that one story. You can go to CNN and they'll tell you one thing. Then you can go to Fox. They'll tell you another thing. Then you go to MSNBC and yet another thing. And then in the long run, you find out that none of them were true, that it was something completely different. Bottom line is the government wants one world order, and Trump threw a giant monkey wrench into the works. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so what did they eat at the first Thanksgiving?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Turkey.
Potatoes, corn on the cob, pumpkin pie.
He didn't eat no freaking pumpkin pie.
It says it right here. What food did they eat at the first Thanksgiving? Potatoes, corn on the cob, pumpkin pie.
And?
I got to click on that.
Yeah, because I know they had cornbread. I know they had turkey. Yeah, no pumpkin pie. Jay, you're absolutely right, because Trump is not a politician. He says it like it is, and he does exactly what he says he's going to do.
I want some pumpkin pie now.
And the thing with President Trump is if you're a douche, he's going to call you a douche. Like the the guy from CNN that they threw out.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't read this right.
Who now has a temporary injunction to return, to have his credentials returned. However, once that temporary injunction's over, they're tossing his ass out again.
Here we go with the politics again. I thought we were talking about Thanksgiving.
Yes, One American News. Either that or BBC.
Ugh.
Absolutely. No scruples, no respect, no knowledge, no skills. Violent video games, absolutely. Violent TV shows and movies.
Yeah, but I play GTA 5. That doesn't make me want to go do anything violent.
You're also not a kid.
We had violent video games when I was a kid.
What, Donkey Kong?
No, we had Commando and run around with a machine gun and shoot at everything in our way, and you had to kill everything to get past the next level. And what do you think? What about the fiery balls that Mario used to shoot out? That's violent. That's violent.
You can't compare them to Grand Theft Auto.
Well, yeah, Grand Theft Auto is like almost virtual reality, running around and everybody killing everybody for a free-for-all. Are you going out in teams and doing stuff?
And there's also I don't remember the name of it. It's not Hitman, but it's a mafia game.
Well, you know, we had Dungeons and Dragons, but you don't see people running around being sorcerers and wizards and trying to ride on a broomstick down the street, do you?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, okay. Maybe you. I think there's someone in Hartford that might be on a broomstick.
Who's that?
I ain't saying. Isn't it supposed to snow?
No, it was supposed to snow today. We got rain.
You did slip right over your head. I said someone who might be on a broomstick in Hartford. Never mind.
Trump tried to ban GTA 5.
Get out of here.
That's what Melissa said.
How can you... Melissa, you need to fact check that. Actually,
And, well, here's another.
Maybe Melissa needs to get in here and tell us that.
Here's another one that pisses me off. Excuse my language, but I totally lost my shit when I saw this. And I think you know the game I'm talking about.
Oh, here we go.
The school shooter game.
What?
Mm-hmm. You can either be the school shooter or the kids in the school.
Oh, I remember that conversation. Some video game that was online that you could be the victim or the shooter.
Yep. You walk through the halls of the school shooting kids.
What? Where did you find this game? What?
Well, when it came out, it was all over the friggin' place. People were losing their minds about it, and I don't blame them. I thought it was horrible. Horrible. Let's see if I can look it up here.
Active shooter video game simulating school shootings pulled.
That's the one.
Pulling up information on it now.
Why you would even do that, make that game in the first place, is ridiculous. You've got to be screwed up in the head to make an active an active school shooting video game, to turn it into a game.
Get out of here with the owner of video game marketplace Steam said it has removed the game where players could simulate a school shooting, which sparked an outrage among families of survivors and turned out to be the work of a previously restricted publisher.
Mm-hmm. You think?
Valve Corporation said it has pulled the active shooter, which was scheduled to launch on its Steam platform June 6th, which offers a developer program, allowing us smaller game designers to publish their video games, commonly played on PC or Macs on the platform.
Yep.
Active Shooter was described as a dynamic SWAT simulator where players could choose to work as a member of SWAT team attempting to disarm the shooter or the shooter themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's
disturbing. Disgusting.
actually has a screenshot. It shows you.
No, I know. I've seen it. Somebody needs to just punch that dude right in the mouth.
Wow.
I honestly, I hope he's banned from ever making a game again. I hope he lost his shirt over this.
It could go either way. You know, there's a lot of sick, crazy individuals out there that would support this guy. They would gladly give him their money to keep the game. You've heard of dark web, right? Deep web?
Yeah, I've heard of the dark
web.
web.
I bet you the game's available on deep web. You can buy anything on. I've been doing some research on deep web.
Yep.
And you can buy anything on there. There's human trafficking, there's drugs, there's weapon sales, all kinds of stuff. They even have live kill videos. I've heard of these.
Snuff.
Yeah, of these videos where they have someone chained up in a basement, kind of like Saw, and they either torture them to death or they have a live kill cam where they show you the person getting murdered or shot or stabbed or whatever.
Well, Jay brought up 3 good points here. Number 1, why make that kind of game unless there's a specific agenda? Brainwash. 2, why would you buy that game? Because you're brainwashed. And 3, why would parents allow their kids to buy these type of games? And then he says, oh, it's the parents who buy the games. And that's true. That is absolutely true. I really wish this guy would lose his everything. Everything. Absolutely everything. Speaking of human trafficking, for those of you that don't live here in Connecticut or in the area, we had the president of the Ellington Ambulance Company, who apparently also owned a hotel, was running a sex trafficking business out of the basement of the hotel. They found cages with restraints and all this other stuff in the basement of this building. And do you know what the guy's main concern was? Losing his job. Which, of course, he did.
You weren't in one of those cages, were you?
No. He was immediately terminated from the Ellington Ambulance Corporation.
Sorry about that.
But he was worried about losing his job. Not the fact that he's running a child sex trafficking ring out of this freaking hotel that he owned. So, yeah.
And this is something that goes on and on.
This stuff exists. You know, people can try to ignore that, too, all they want. It's only on TV. Oh, this. No. Here, a little town in Connecticut. You got a guy running a major child sex trafficking ring.
Wasn't there something that happened like that at the Waterford Speed Bowl, the previous owner?
Yes. That's still...
touchy subject?
And not a touchy subject, but it's still being investigated. It looks like it may not have been as reported.
Big lawsuits.
Well, it like I said, it's still being investigated, and we'll find out. If it turns out he was, then I hope they hang him. Another thing, I don't know if you saw I watched the sentencing the other day of this shitbag from, I think he was in Colorado. He was having an affair with another woman. And instead of getting divorced, he killed his wife and his 2 kids. And his wife was pregnant with their 3rd child. He strangled her.
Wow.
And I believe he smothered the 2 children. He worked at some refinery or something. And he didn't even want them being together in death. So he buried one in a shallow grave, and he stuffed 2 of the children in separate tanks. Now, the holes for the tanks are like 8-inch openings. He stuffed them in the tanks. Luckily, and I don't know exactly how, but he was caught. I don't know if somebody saw him or they just figured it out, but they did recover all the bodies, and he was sentenced to life.
Not enough of time.
Life without parole.
Wow.
The family of the deceased actually did not want the death penalty. And I can understand that. They want to make him suffer. You know, killing him is too good for him. Make his sorry ass suffer. And if you think he's going to survive prison, nah. I don't think he's going to survive prison. There will be some prison justice handed out there.
Sorry about that in the background.
I didn't hear anything.
Another zombie just slipped behind you.
Roger. All right, so we got 20 minutes left in the show. Let's try to do something cheery. I don't want to...
Meanwhile, on the news front, Facebook has been a total blowout today.
Yeah, something's going on Facebook and Instagram and all of these platforms.
On a global level. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a epidemic, an epidemic of biblical proportions online event worldwide going on with the social media platforms. They're under attack.
Dear God.
All right?
So, hey, guess where I'm going Sunday?
China?
How'd you know it's China?
Haha, you're out of coffee.
No, I am I'm going to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, get out of here.
I go every year.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Where's my scope? I'm taking this guy out.
I'm friends with a couple of the guys in the group, and it's good to see them. I see them during the year, but it's good to see them when they travel, and it's a good time. They had to update their spy software.
I'm gonna shoot you with my laser beam.
Frickin' laser.
Actually, you know what? It's green, so it probably won't even show up. Oh, wait. Oh, wow, you like partially disappeared.
Oh, and you know what? If you're in Connecticut, and more so southeastern Connecticut, this weekend from 9 to 5 at the Walmart in Norwich, we will be having our annual toy drive. Bring a new unwrapped toy, or you can stuff some money in the boots. At the end of the day, we tally all the money, and we actually go into Walmart and buy all the toys. And it's a good cause. Goes to the Montville Social Services and distributed to children whose parents cannot afford a lot for Christmas. And we step in and we help them out. That is this Saturday, from 9 to 5 in the Norwich Walmart. DJ James Patrick O'Grady will be providing the music from 10 to 2, JPO Productions. He will also be appearing at Lansdowne Thursday night to do karaoke. So if you're in the area and you want to do some karaoke, stop on down. Be good to see you. Keith?
Yep.
You gonna stop down and sing?
I don't know about karaoke. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking our top 40 EDM hip hop trap station should do a live broadcast from Lansdowne.
Okay.
Well, whatever the DJ's playing would be over live on the air on Jams.
Yeah. Got to give a shout out to my heart and soul, my two favorite people in the whole world, my girlfriend CJ and to Latte. Thanks for tuning in. And yep, there are Walking Dead behind me. They've been trying to get in the whole show, but the good thing is Keith hasn't showered in about a week.
Oh, get out of here. That's it. Going to zap you with my laser.
He's going to zap me with his frickin' laser.
Uh-oh, I think one got out.
Mini-me, stop pumping the frickin' laser.
Get him, zombie. Take his hat. Just take his hat.
So, yeah, Keith is having a day. But yeah, stop down, see us. We will be we'll be collecting toys all day. It'll be fun. Temperatures are supposed to be nice. Weather's supposed to be nice.
-2 degrees.
No. It's supposed to be up near 50.
When?
Saturday.
Saturday?
Yep. So we'll have the fire trucks down there.
50s? What?
And like I said, music from 10 to 2 by James Patrick O'Grady. And gonna try to do some good things for some kids.
10-day forecast.
No way.
Saturday, 48 degrees, mostly sunny.
Oh, wow. Isn't that what I said? Holy Jesus.
You said 50.
I said near 50.
48, 45. Low 44.
God, I can't wait till my co-hosts return.
Oh, shut up. You didn't do the forecast. Please try to be more accurate than that.
Near 50?
Low of
48.
Low of 44.
Still, it's better than 20.
Yeah. It's supposed to rain tonight.
Yeah, well, it's been raining all day. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling this YouTube thing. I don't know how the Facebook part is working out, but...
Well, the YouTube, believe it or not, the video is 20 times more stable on YouTube than it is on... But listen, when I'm done, I'm working on it. I was out. I was knocked out. The reason why Project Arrowhead didn't have the show last week is because I was sick. I was knocked out for a week.
Yeah, well...
The doctor said, "Oh, you want to complain about pain? Here's some non-narcotic horse pills. Take these." And I took them, and I slept literally day and night.
Wow.
I slept for a week. I was knocked out. I was up barely enough to tell Jim last minute, I'm in trouble here. So I had some type of weird infection, probably from one of the zombies got through the wall back there, scratched me, and that was,
Hey, can you believe Christmas is coming soon?
Yeah, I got to get some different graphics for your background, too. Like, we need Christmas stuff up next.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas zombies.
Christmas zombies.
Yeah.
How about we go with one or the other? Either Christmas or zombies.
Skeleton, how about skeleton reindeer?
Okay, well, whatever.
Something.
Well, I'll tell you, I think we really hit home today on our mass shooting topic.
Home?
More
like fed up and perturbed.
That's what it means, fool. A lot of people are just as fed up as we are about what's going on in this country.
Right, and they're fed up to the point where they want to turn over their gun rights and say, no, okay, I'll give up my guns if it means that this world will be a better place.
But that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. There'll be a civil war before that happens.
Do the complete opposite. Jay says we could always have a liberal background and have snowflakes.
Give up your guns. No more guns. No more shootings.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, I know. I'm joking, or I'm not being serious. I'm just being stupid joking.
But did you hear what I just read?
You could always have a liberal background
and have snowflakes.
So why don't you call up as one?
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Like I said, the solution to these mass shootings, it's not a liberal thing. It's not a conservative thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a black thing. It is a human thing. And the answer is not taking guns away.
You take your guns away.
You take the guns away.
Enough.
You make it harder for the good guys to get the guns. And you become a sheep because the bad guys will always find a way to get their hands on a weapon.
But if we take the guns out of the hands of civilians, then nobody will have guns. Take everyone's guns away. No more guns. There'll be no more gun violence. Just take everyone's guns away.
Yeah, and what about the ones that are coming in illegally?
Take them away, too.
Yeah, and how are you going to do that?
Just do it.
Yeah, wishful thinking, Keith.
Well, that's the direction they're going in. That's what our politics, every part of our politics is wishful thinking, always.
Drugs are illegal, too. How's that working out?
Yeah, they should just legalize it. No, forget it. That would have been a bad spiral down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if people want to do drugs, let them do it. And if they end up in a curb somewhere, then I don't know, whatever. It's kind of mean of me to say, but...
And listen to this. You gotta love how back-asswards this country is. Diabetes medicine can cost you $600 and up, and that's with insurance picking up the majority of it. However, if you're a heroin addict, you can go to the hospital, and they have a room for you to shoot up, and they'll even provide the needles for you.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the newest thing. They call it the drug room.
Did you fact check this?
Yeah, I fact checked it. It was all over the news.
It's called the shoot-up room?
It's called the drug room. You go in there. It's a safe place for you to shoot up. And the Narcan's right there if you overdose. And the Narcan's free. So we'll give free Narcan to the shitbags, but somebody that needs their diabetic medicine has to pay $600 to $2,000.
Oh, the diabetic must die.
And that just shows you how backwards we are in this country.
Would you like to shoot them with my laser?
I don't want your freaking laser, Mini-Me. Because, Austin, I'm your Farja.
Show people the size of this thing.
I'm your Farja.
Shoot it right into the camera.
I'm not going to shoot it into the camera, but I guess...
shoot it right into the camera.
I guess he wants to mount it on top of a rifle or something. And
No.
I have no idea why.
I have nothing to do with any rifles.
I have no idea why he has this, but he does.
Fire it right at the camera.
I'm not going to fire it at the camera. And why do you have that, by the way?
Because I love lasers. They're cool. Listen, these high-powered lasers go for $200 or $300.
Yep.
And they're now available on Wish for like $15 to $20.
Okay.
But it's a super bright laser beam.
Laser beam. You got to do the parentheses.
I can't.
Laser.
Laser.
Just like Austin, I'm your Farja.
Get in my tummy.
It's get in my belly.
Get in my belly.
God. You don't watch TV much, do you?
Have you seen this room? What do you think? This stuff just kind of patches itself together? Do you think all this equipment runs itself? I mean, where's your head? I got time to watch a stupid football game?
You should.
No, I don't.
It's part of the Thanksgiving. Because the Pilgrims watch football right after they got done eating.
Yep, we watch 5 seconds a game and a whole another 20 minutes of setting up, throwing flags, doing technical replays, challenging the play, and then we got to go into a courtroom and to determine whether or not they manhandled each other too much. A football game. Well, he was a little rough on that tackle, so negative 5 yards. Yeah.
You're special, aren't you?
No, it's retarded. They used to go...
Don't use that
I
word.
don't need to, okay, bad. Bad. Okay, so...
I apologize to our listeners. We're...
When we used to play football, we play football. If someone broke an arm, they broke an arm. It was part of the game. Now they're afraid to tackle each other. They got to tickle each other to get the ball. They bring out a feather duster. That's how they tackle. Why don't you just give them all feather dusters and have them tickle each other to get the ball loose?
You done?
No. They've really stupefied the game.
Oh, man, and I saw one of the worst injuries this past weekend. Alex Smith, the Redskins quarterback, compound fracture of both his tibia and fibula.
What?
His leg was his foot was basically amputated. He was hanging on by a piece of skin. And what made it even more eerie is not only does he play for the Redskins, it was on the same exact yard line, the same exact quarter, and the same exact score as the Joe Theismann injury. And it was a pretty gruesome injury. So given his age and severity of the injury, I would be very surprised if he ever plays again.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to put some rods in there and basically reattach his foot to his leg.
That happened while playing football?
Yeah.
Well, that happens. People get in their cars and they're separated by a yellow line and they head at each other at 50 miles an hour one direction and 60 in the other. And, I don't know, it's all part of driving, but if someone, that line doesn't physically stop them from crossing over and doing a head-on with you, and playing football is not necessarily safe, even though they have 50 pounds of protective gear on, that's what the game is. You got to tackle. You got to play the game, not...
Yeah, but you don't see severe injuries like that often.
No. But now I see a bunch of grown men with feather dusters tickle each other to tackle each other.
Anyway, once again, if you missed the beginning of the show, Gina and Glenn will hopefully both be here next week. We'll have the full crew with us. And Gina's home recovering. Hope you're feeling better. And Glenn has a lot of stuff going on. His mom's in the hospital, and from what I understand, she's getting better. So they want to thank everybody for their thoughts and their prayers, and things are looking up. Things are definitely looking up. Like I said, Gina's feeling a lot better, and Glenn's mom's doing a lot better. So it's definitely something to be thankful for. So, what are you thankful for, Keith?
I'm thankful that I'm going to tackle you with the duster, and I'm going to get a touchdown.
Really?
Touchdown! No.
God, I cannot wait till my co-hosts get back.
I'm sorry I'm picking on football, and that's just totally pissing you off. I'm so sorry. Don't be a snowflake about it, okay?
I'm not being a snowflake.
Yeah, you are.
You sound like the snowflake.
You're crying.
You sound like the snowflake.
You see that look when that feathered duster... Oh, look at it. Oh, yeah, totally ignored it.
I did.
Totally ignored it. I just watched the instant replay here. We're going to send it back through replay and have the judges determine whether or not you had an attitude problem or not. If you did, I'm going to throw a yellow flag, and that's the end of it. You're done.
I completely ignored it. Tuned you right out.
Yeah, just like that touchdown. I don't know. I just... The game's gotten so technical. I don't know what's worse, a football game or a chess game.
Since when do you know how to play chess?
Throw the ball, run, try to injure the guy with the ball. End of story. Don't injure him, but, take him down, whatever means necessary.
It's called a tackle.
Right. But if you tackle too rough, they can throw a flag, and that's the end of it.
Right.
They've got... I'm surprised half of their uniform is not all flags.
Oh, my God. Speaking of which, I watched Survivor Series Sunday night.
How'd that go?
Sucked.
Too many technicalities?
No, it was one of the worst pay-per-views I think I've seen in a while. They just keep getting worse and worse and worse. But then I watched the NXT War Games, and that was better than any main roster pay-per-view I've seen in years. So I guess I'm going to start watching NXT more. It was good. Well, all right, we only got a couple minutes left here, so once again, want to remind everybody that Project Arrowhead is brought to you by the Mohegan Sun Big 3, Lansdowne Pub, Avalon Nightclub, and the Vista Lounge. For all your VIP needs, go see Chris Cody, and he will hook you up. And this Saturday from 9 to 5 at the Walmart in Norwich, Connecticut, we will be doing our annual toy drive.
You should do a live broadcast for that on Facebook.
Music will be provided from 10 to 2 by DJ James Patrick O'Grady, JPO Productions, and let's get some toys for these children and make Christmas special. So it's about all the time we have this week. I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the day, and hopefully when I return next week, I will have the lovely Gina and the beautiful Glenn.
What about me?
What about you?
Shut up.
You're always here. So, until next week, thanks for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. See you next week.